She want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key. You gotta slow it
want
down.
to learn how to run downhills faster, or to run them sort of more efficiently so their legs don't get blown up towards the end of races.
It sounds crazy, but I look 3 steps ahead. I'm always looking 3 to 5 meters ahead. It sounds crazy, but yeah, the first 2 steps, I already got them in my head, and just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. If you slow down too much, not only you get your quads burning, you can fall over. So yeah, very important to look ahead. Again, depending on the terrain. If it's something very technical, obviously you shorten that side. You never go down, which is what you see a lot on the trails in Hong Kong. You see a lot of people doing this, which is very dangerous. Not only you can hit yourself with a branch or something, you can easily fall. You can cut your feet, and then it gets very serious very fast.
In today's, where we're going to be practicing, there'll be some curves in stairs. And one of just the basic things that you can do to be able to run a little bit faster is, if you have stairs that sort of bend, there will always be more real estate on the step towards the outside of the bend, right? If you just think of it just in terms of surface area, the outside of the steps will have a little bit more. And if you start running on towards the outside, you'll really notice, oh wow, I do have more room for each foot placement. So that will be something that you can kind of work on whenever you're going around a bend. Try to stay on the sort of outside half of the stairs. Likewise, in our groups, because we'll have people sort of doing downhills and then coming back up, try to be climbing back up the mountain on the inside and leave the outside of the path for people coming up. Where you have stairs, come and turn into the little ferry steps. So that's going to be where it's going to be tougher to go 2 by 2, because you're just not going to have much plant area to land. Some people like to try to turn their legs a little bit and almost do like sort of 45-degree angle, just so that they can get sort of a comfortable plant on each step. I tend to prefer to kind of just go over right on the middle of the step. And that way, sort of, you're not having to try to necessarily find a really sort of narrow sort of bit, but it depends on what the stair is shaped like, whether it's a wooden lip or a concrete, right? All those different factors will sort of dictate what the comfort is. Usually, if you're going 2 by 2 really fast downstairs, and then you approach one of those little sets of ferry steps, what I tend to do is, because I'm looking down the mountain, as Louis said, you're always looking not just at your feet, but further down. As you see that change coming up, I tend to want to gradually slow down just a little bit so that I can sort of reassess the change in terrain and then get my rhythm going on those sort of smaller steps. And then once you kind of, okay, actually, I have pretty good footing here, and then you start to increase the cadence, and then if comfortable, then go back to 2 by 2.
And talking about the more technical side of things on the trails. For the rocks, it comes down to whatever you prefer. I prefer bigger stones without being too big. Too big will be that it will be slippery, or might be slippery. And then if it's too small, it also could be dangerous. They can move around. So I would prefer the middle-sized stones. Also, when it's raining and it's wet, I personally prefer to step on the puddles. I feel like helps with my slows down my step, and it also gives me time to feel whatever is on the puddle. If you try to avoid it and get in the mud, it could be very dangerous too. Could be very slippery. So yeah, when it comes to you need to choose whatever you feel more comfortable with. Again, it's lame, but because we are gone runners. It also comes down to your shoes and socks. And the quality, not only of the sole, but how old they are, and if they're flat, then you need to adjust that to your run. But yeah, if I'm going to go for that 10K run, I'll probably take it easy for 1K. Again, depends where you go. K and a half, and then start pushing. I try to, the last part of my training is when I go the fullest. But yeah, should you warm up? Go and shoot.
They say for racing, the longer the race, the shorter the warm-up. The shorter the race, the longer the warm-up. So if you're running, an 800-meter championship, which none of us do, your warm-up is going to be way longer than the race. You'll probably do a few Ks of going around the track and limbering up, do a few strides. If you're running a 100-miler, you don't need to be doing wind sprints before, because you're going to be out there for 20 plus hours. So the more short and intense the effort is going to be, if you're doing track, if you're doing speed work, you should definitely do a few laps of the track first, get the blood flowing.
She want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key.
Whoa.
The ultras, of course. The teams are the ones that I use for training. Normally the cheaper side of the brand. So for me, I save the expensive shoes for the races. I use this one for training. This one is I think it's the latest. This one has a Vibram.
Or catching yourself before you have a bad fall is when you feel your ankle going over, but then you realize, oh, and before you even realize it, you've caught it and you keep on going, but you think, oh my goodness, I could have snapped my ankle. There's not enough time to think when that happens, right? So that's actually sort of a nerve muscle memory. And you can train that a little bit, and it's really helpful if you're kind of coming off an ankle roll and you're especially sensitive on it. And what you do is it's just single leg stance. So if you hold one leg up and just balance, very easy, right? We can all just balance and hold like this. But so everyone do that. Keep that leg up. Now close your eyes. Everyone close their eyes completely tight. Okay, and now everyone's arms are in the air. Try to hold it. Keep those eyes tightly closed. So what happens is, as soon as you close your eyes, you lose your point of focus, and what you'll have is you'll feel your ankle kind of firing on both sides, right? And what it's doing, it's called cryoperception, is just catching. I'm going over that way. You need to correct. Usually, what you want to do is, if you can, your weekly average of elevation or amount of elevation should kind of track per 10 kilometers what your big goal race is. If you're running a big hilly race in, Thailand or Europe, that's 100K and 5,500 meters of elevation, then try to get 550 meters of up and down per 10K of your weekly training run. And that will sort of start to condition your legs for approximately the amount of up and down that you'll be doing over the...
Ice always helps, right? And I think it's more for the pain, but if it's uncomfortable, the pain, the ice will help. I think it's important to know that if you have a pain, then you need to ask yourself, why do I have the pain in the first place? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Am I doing too much? What do I need to adapt? There's always places like like JD where you can go there and they can tell you, they can analyze your mechanics and say, oh, you're moving this forward, you move. So that will help for sure. But yeah, you have to wonder why is it hurting? If you go for a 5K run and your knees are hurting, then it's something not right. So then that will be a red flag. Say, okay, what's happening? What am I doing? Is it my shoe? Like you have to start breaking down what the issues could be. For treatment, yeah, like you said, some people that are anti-ice, some people love the ice. It's true. Inflammation is good. Is your body's way to heal itself. Other people love the ice. So yeah, it's a little controversial. I think you should always go forward.
Go forward.
You can always adapt, depending on the terrain, and depending on also of the length of the steps. We're going to go to some steps here that are quite short. Then some people like going sideways. That's dangerous, obviously, for obvious reasons, because you don't want to go sideways. But then if the terrain makes you slow down for some reason, then follow your instinct and you have to slow down and maybe adapt your steps. But yeah, in theory, you should always go forward, forward.
Yeah, so I find and it feels a little bit weird at first, but even when you're running stairs or running technical downhills, the more that you can approximate your regular running form, that's going to be a really efficient way for you to run, and something that your body is already comfortable with that sort of motion. So to the extent that you're just able to adapt your sort of normal, comfortable running form, but doing it at an incline, that's going to be carrying your energy forward. a few things about sort of carrying your energy. One of the things that we want to avoid today, and you should try to avoid during racing and practice during training, is to stop braking yourself, like slowing down while doing downhills. When we are doing long distance races, we are trying to cross huge amounts of territory using as much energy as we can to move us forward. Any type of muscle energy that you're using to decelerate yourself, you are wasting your energy, you are engaging your muscles to slow yourself down, right? So it's always going to be more efficient to relax and to try to be smooth, let your energy take you down the hill, the mountain, while keeping that turnover going.
You always have to involve your core. The core is very important. Something that most of us probably don't have. But it's very important to have your core, which should keep you balanced. Okay. And definitely the arms. The arms, they need, but again, it comes down to taste. I love the arms flying. If you've seen this guy going downhill, he's like, oh, he hands all over the place, but that is what you need. You need to let your body adapt itself. So yeah, don't be shy. Don't feel like you're gonna look stupid. Just go. You need to fly. And then the worst thing you can do is keep your arms together to your body. Then you're losing all the balance already. So yeah, don't be shy with your arms and go for it.
If you keep especially your shoulders and your upper body just a little bit loose, it allows, if you're getting a little bit off balance, you can kind of throw a little bit of counterweight to help prevent you from veering off track.
She want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key. You gotta slow it down, girl, you moving too fast for me. Nobody did it like this, so they wonder, they asking me if I can slow it down, cause it's coming too fast.